and welcome to The Rest is Football with Alan Shearer, Micah Richards and me, Gary Lineker. After the recent international window and the FA Cup quarterfinals, the Premier League was back this week with Liverpool edging another step closer to the title and some more twists and turns in the race for European football next season. Big game, of course, was Liverpool-Everton. Liverpool stuttered a little bit in other competitions over the last few weeks, so it was imperative they won, and they did, but they didn't have it all their own way, did they?
I'll let them talk about Liverpool, but I want to talk about Everton. I thought they were brilliant. Harrison, the work rate he puts in for that team was unmatched yesterday. They basically wanted to force Liverpool into wide areas, and I did it on my analysis yesterday, and Liverpool put 30 crosses in within winning the game, but Everton knew exactly when to drop off and when to push up, when to fill into the spaces, and they were so organised. And then they had a plan on the counter-attack as well. It was not like they just went there and wanted to set off. They was just really organised. Moyes is doing a brilliant job with them. And, you know, Beto takes that chance when he hits the post. It could be a different game. And, you know, we spoke about Everton and we spoke about Dyche before, and you had him, you interviewed him, and I thought he would have kept them up, but it's almost like Everton have had a new lease of life, even better than I thought they could be, and that's testament to themselves and Moyes getting the best out of them. And they're actually really exciting to watch. Maybe not dazzling football, but in terms of organisation, knowing their jobs, and players sort of coming into their own, especially someone like Beto.
I think from a Liverpool point of view, it was just, I don't think it mattered how they played. I think because of what they've been through, the disappointment of the last couple of weeks, I know it's been international, but losing the final, going out of the Champions League, I think just because of that, they just needed to somehow get 3 points. And I think that's all that mattered for Liverpool last evening. It don't matter how they played, how hard it was. They just desperately needed 3 points, because you can imagine the reaction if they don't win. After what's happened to them, the pressure's on. Are they gonna bottle it and all of that? So I just think a huge 3 points for them. They can perhaps settle down a little bit now. They're back to winning ways and crack on and go and win the league.
Couple of controversial moments, weren't they? Let's start with the Tarkowski challenge. Got away with one.
Yeah, definitely. It should have been a red card all day. We've all played the game. We all know when you're going in and you've gone over the top, and that for me should have been without doubt a red card.
It's funny because Tarky's texts me, so I get some work done by a physio who used to be at Man City. He's now at Everton. He comes around to my house just to keep me nice and loose. Let's say, and Tarky always says to him, "Why is Micah so harsh on me?" You know, I've said he should have been sent off a couple of times with a couple of challenges or whatnot. And then last night I was thinking to myself, surely he knows that's a red card. And the reason I say that, because I've been in that situation. And if you look at the incident, he sort of slows himself down. He's got so much time just to nick the ball away, but he thought, I'm going to get the ball and get the man. I don't think he meant to break his leg or anything like that, but he meant to hurt him, let him know he was in the game. He knew exactly what he was doing, and Alan's completely right. It's a red card.
How do you judge the difference as a defender between trying to hurt someone and trying to break their leg? How?
No, but you can. Well, you've seen challenges back in the days.
Well, yeah, I've had them.
I've seen some of Souness's challenges, and he's going to hurt people. But he didn't mean to try and, because if Mac Allister's leg stayed straight, he actually could have broke his leg. That's what it was. But he sort of went in, hit him, and then he took the pressure out the challenge at the last minute. So he didn't mean to do him, but he just meant to let him know he was there. And it was a definite red card, without doubt.
Right, there's a referee on the pitch. I understand he might not have seen it, or it would happen so quickly. Seriously, the guy in VAR, what on earth is he thinking, saying, yeah, that's all right, that is all right? What was it? What the Oh, it makes me so angry. Honestly, we want this done correctly, and we want it all to work. But when you look at decisions like that, for the VAR to sit there and think, "Yeah, that's all right. You haven't made an error, mate. You're all right. I'm not even going to tell you." Come on, man. Get a grip.
So, Micah, on the show, you presumably said that's definitely a red card. Did you get the text from Tarkowski after you'd said that or before?
No, yeah, this was before. This is on previous incidents, but I've not had a text from him this time. I saw him in Dubai as well, because he keeps texting. The guy who does my massage is called Craig, and
who does my massages?
Have you got a guy on each leg after the size of your legs?
He spends a long time, I know that much. Big,
don't go any further, okay? Thanks, Micah.
Wait till Tarky listens to this, you'll be getting a text off him saying
100%. But he knows, and we all know, that it was a red card. He got away with one, didn't he?
Should have been.
Do you know what? James Tarkowski's now has the joint most yellow cards without ever being sent off in Premier League history. 63.
The luckiest stat ever. That he should have been sent off at least 5 of those incidents.
The other one, of course, was the Liverpool goal, and David Moyes, I saw in his interview, was saying it was just offside. He said it was definitely offside, but it's not quite that straightforward.
Not under the laws, is it? It's like, because it was Diaz was in an offside position. Tarkowski tries to clear it, but Diaz doesn't block him, doesn't try and get involved, doesn't do anything. But Tarkowski has to stretch to clear it, and he doesn't really know that if he leaves that ball, then he's in, and he's not sure whether he's offside or not. So he's stretching to clear it, and because he's stretching, he can't get the clearance that he wants. Therefore, Diaz then comes back on sides, flicks it into Jota, and Jota scores. And under the laws, as they stand, it was the right decision, wasn't it?
But it does affect your position.
Absolutely,
so
of course it does, yeah.
When people say, oh, well, he's not affecting play, well, of course, because you're taking your line off where people are around you as a defender. And yes, he probably... People would say, okay, he should know he's in an offside position, so he should just leave it then. But he don't think like that. It's a split second to think about it. And I just feel like that one is a grey area, because I believe he is affecting play, Diaz, in that position.
He has to be, Micah. Otherwise, what's the point of the defender stretching to clear it? Because he's stretching to clear it because he can see him. He can see him, and he's not 100% sure whether he's offside or not. So he has to be affecting the play, doesn't he?
Agreed.
But under the laws, it's the right decision.
Yeah. I mean, the law way back when was just basically, if you're in an offside position, you're offside.
Yeah.
But why can't it just be like that anyway?
They complicate it so much, because the old thing, you say, well, he's not interfering with play. Well, then you shouldn't be on a football pitch. If he's just getting up from an injury and he's 10 yards behind a play and he's just walking back, jogging into position, I understand that. But when it's so close like that, I agree with you. It's funny because it reminded me, I saw a clip recently of going back to 1990, the semi-final against the Germans. And at 1-1, there was a cross came in. There was a free kick, actually. And David Platt heads one in the back of the net. And I watched it and I thought, my God, he's not offside. He's not offside. He's come from deep behind the back line. He's come from deep behind. He's headed it in. But someone else was actually stood in an offside position. There was nowhere near the play. But you forget to yourself, actually, offside in those days was simple. Nobody complained, got on with it. Even Platty knew that he was headed it, he was onside. But someone else was in an offside position. But I mean, they've complicated the game so much, haven't they, with these nuances and stuff like that. Moisey now has gone 22 matches, including 20 in the Premier League, without winning at Anfield.
It's not easy. It's not an easy place to go and win, though, is it?
No.
I've not won there either, so I mean, it's tough, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, let's move on to that. I mean, that's almost done, I think, for Liverpool for the title now. They've got, 13 points needed with 8 games left. Let's move on to Newcastle, Alan.
Goal of the season, guys. Goal of the season. Oh, what? Come on.
It was a shot, man. Was it? Was it a shot?
Of course it was a shot.
Cross?
Well, I know if it was me scoring that, I'm coming in doing the interviews and saying, yeah, absolutely. I saw the keeper, I saw the gap, and I just went for it. But I saw Tonali's interview afterwards, and I was at the game, and I couldn't believe when I saw the ball hit the back of the net. I mean, the keeper will be really disappointed he's been beaten from that angle. But it was to even have the audacity, because his interview was afterwards. It was a 70% cross and a 30% shot. That's what Tonali said.
So therefore, he's basically just hit it across the goal and it's just gone in. It sounds like a cross. If you say it's 70% across and you're the person that's crossing it, he's crossed it.
Goal of the season.
What does that even mean? What does that mean?
I know, exactly.
30% shot. What does that mean?
I think that means I crossed it, but I'm trying to claim a little bit of it.
He could have got away with it because the way he struck the ball, it looked like he meant to shoot. Yeah. So I'm thinking, wow, what a goal that was. In the interview, when you're in that position, when you're out wide, you curl it, or if you want to fizz it, you sort of hit across the ball. But he had the striking moment, the movement like he was going for goal. So I was like, just claim it.
Claim it, yeah, absolutely. It was. Anyway, I'll tell you what it means, Micah. It means Newcastle scored 2 and it was the winning goal and they got 3 points. And very much like Liverpool, that's all that mattered, was getting 3 points.
Oh, here we go. He's so chirpy. Let's bring him down a little bit, Micah. How did you get on the golf the other day? Isak got another goal. 20 Premier League goals this season, Alan.
Yeah, again, another 20, or 20 plus, same as last season. So he looked a bit tired last night. I thought he had 2 or 3 really good chances, but got his goal just before half-time. It was a really good atmosphere before the game, but it was, I think, as expected, it wasn't a great performance from Newcastle. But after what's gone on, I guess, emotionally and all of those things, that it was never going to be a great performance. It was just about getting 3 points again, and they've done that.
Producer Harry has just handed me a statistic. That is my favourite statistic I've ever read out.
Something damning against me then. There's something coming up.
On this podcast. I'm actually stunned by it. No, I need to... I'm not sure this could possibly be true, but no, it's a legitimate source. Alexander Isak is the first player in Newcastle's history to score 20-plus goals in back-to-back Premier League seasons.
I would doubt that. Get producer Harry to check it again.
You don't sound particularly...
Get producer Harry to check the stats, please.
He's floundering, Micah, isn't he? Because I think he knows it's true. I would have... Because I thought, as soon as I read that, I'm thinking, surely Andy Cole did it.
I would just check the stats. That's all I would do.
He normally knows.
Just check the stats. Actually, the first season, then my second season, I was injured, wasn't I? So I would check those stats.
Oh, it's just been checked.
Injuries curtailed it.
The
honestly.
VAR check is complete, Alan.
Wait. You just go back 20 goals?
That's unbelievable. I mean, I did that at Leicester.
I'm going to check the stats when I finish, guys.
And Tottenham.
I'm not sure of the source. I'm not sure it's a good source.
Brilliant. Looking good for Champions League, Alan?
Yeah, really good. You've got a game in hand as well over the rest of them. I think that game in hand is Palace at home in midweek in a couple of weeks' time. And if they were to win their game in hand and they keep on winning, I think they go above City and above Chelsea. So it's looking really, really good. They've got an incredible chance to have a magnificent season, which has already obviously got the trophy. So incredible.
Looks like you've been handed some more stats. Have you been handed some more stats there, Gary?
I have.
Yes, come on.
I believe this is Alan Shearer's Newcastle career. Blackburn. We'll ignore Blackburn. He did all right at Blackburn. Right, 96, 97, 25 goals. Very good.
Are we talking about league goals, are we?
Yeah, league goals, Premier League goals.
Okay.
97, 98, 2.
Injured.
17 appearances.
See where we finished.
2 goals. Yeah. New 98-99, 30 games, 14. 99-2000, 23 goals.
Hang on a minute. Just stop there. Have you seen his stupid face when you read out 30 appearances and 14 goals? Like, just below 1 and 2, and he's giving it...
Yeah. 2001, 19 appearances, 5 goals. 2001-2, 37 appearances, 23 goals. Very good, Alan. Great season. Next season, 35 appearances, 17 goals. And then 2004-5, 28, 7 goals. How the hell have you got the record with that? Oh, good job you played at Blackburn, wasn't it?
I'm not even going to bite back at you two blithering idiots.
I love that. Okay, let's take a break, and we'll come back following Alan's humiliation with the rest of the games in the Premier League.
Sorry, Al.
Welcome back to The Rest is Football with Micah Richards, the mediocre striker that was Alan Shearer, and me, Gary Lineker. Aston Villa, comfortable. Brighton have gone off the boil a bit. I was at the game in the Cup where they were a bit flat and didn't really threaten much against Nottingham Forest. And again, Villa winning at the Amex by 3-0. First Premier League goal for Marcus Rashford. Sensio gets another one. Those signings in the January window work quite well. And Marlon with the other. It was another signing, of course.
I listened to you boys last night, Micah, saying about the impact that the signings have had in January, and you're absolutely spot on. And you spoke about them going, you can take it away because you've seen more of the match than I did, because I was at Newcastle. I just seen the goals, but it was the new boys that done the damage again.
No, I think the big question mark was we did the Preston Villa game, and Rashford gets a couple, and everyone after the game will talk around social media. Well, it's only FA Cup, it's only against Preston, but I look at more his overall game, and since he's been to Villa, I just think he's been brilliant. I think his application's been great. And I said on Sunday, it helps when you're coming into a team that has a structure, that he knows exactly what he wants to do, whether he's playing on the left, whether he's playing up front. And then he's got his confidence back, he's got his swagger back, he's taking people on, he's running in behind. So for him to get his goal against Brighton, it was fully deserved. I think the big question now is what does he do in the summer? I think I think he's done enough to warrant people wanting his services, but where does he go? If I was him, I would stay at Villa. I think Emre's one of the best managers in the Premier League without doubt, knows exactly what he's doing. And it was a bit of a risk when nobody really wanted him at the time. Everyone's saying he can't get back to the levels that we've seen in previous seasons. And maybe not in terms of goal scoring form, but in terms of all-round play, I think the loan has worked out perfectly. And I think that's down to the players he's playing with and the manager giving him the platform to show exactly what he can do.
He's got a fresh lease of life, hasn't he?
It's a really interesting situation if he does continue to excel at Villa. It's all right saying, well, he should stay there. I mean, there's so much more to be done than that in terms of transfer fee and salary and all of that. And because who sort of blinks first? Man United obviously want him out. The manager wants him out. But they're also going to want a fee for him, So it's it'll be really interesting to see what happens. But in the meantime, it's been a great move for him and a great move for Aston Villa. It really has. It's really good business that's working out for both parties.
But it's been hard though, hasn't it? And I mean, you guys as forward players, you got the big name in Rashford, and he, 3 seasons ago now, he scored all those goals. He's surplus to requirements at one of the biggest clubs in the world. Normally your career would go down from there. So there's a lot of pressure on him to perform. And yes, his numbers are not great in terms of goal scoring, but from you guys' point of view as strikers, you must see a lot in his game where you think, okay, he's getting back to somewhere near his best.
Yeah. He looks like he's got a fresh lease of life. And it's a massive difference, isn't it, from going to a place where you've got issues and problems and the managers, they've clearly fallen out. I mean, it's obvious. But it'll also be slightly concerned as to his future as well, because, he's obviously a Manchester United lad through and through. But it makes it a really difficult position and hard for him to go back, and there'd have to be a lot of forgiveness probably on both sides. But if you're Manchester United and you're seeing all these players that have been part of your squad or team for quite some time doing so well elsewhere, that adds question marks. We've talked about it often, and it comes from the top in a football club and seeps down, and if things are not going well off the pitch, they invariably don't go well on the pitch, and that's been the case with Marcus. His attitude was questioned at times. Maybe this was the little new break that he needed, something different, something to get away from a place where it's stagnated for him.
No, absolutely. And it does look as if he's got a new lease of life, and he looks fresh and energetic and all those things that we've seen in the past but not seen too much of in his Man United career the last sort of couple of years. So, yeah, you might be absolutely right, Gaz. It certainly looks that way. Yeah,
it's good to see, though. It's really good to see him back playing well. Morgan Rogers, another couple of assists. He goes from strength to strength, Micah.
Yeah, I mean, how many times we have to talk about him? It's just a class act. I also think Ramsey's playing well, though, he played well against Preston. But Morgan Rogers, I think he's a real superstar. I do. I think he's got every attribute possible for that position in that number 10 role. He played more on the right against Preston. I prefer him in the middle, but obviously when Asensio's scoring so many goals, it's difficult. But again, it's a problem position for England because Bellingham's going to play in the number 10. I just hope they can find a way to get him in the side because he's got so much to offer and a difference to offer as well, where he can pin people and roll people and run with the ball and break the line. So, yeah, he's just going from strength to strength.
Yeah, totally agree. Asensio's the record, particularly when he comes off the bench, another goal and assist.
Yeah.
I mean, what an impact he's had.
Guys, watch his movement. And I know you guys will know it better than me, but everyone goes racing back to goal. He just peels off and goes into the space and then coolly finish. Oh, look at all his finishes.
Oh, the finish. I love the finish.
Wow.
Yeah.
Technical ability on
really
it.
Good.
Lovely left foot, hasn't he?
Yeah, he really has. He's made his mark, Brilliant. That's for sure. We mentioned Manchester United because of Marcus Rashford. They lost again. Another win for City and another ex-player doing damage. Elanga, what a goal that was.
Brilliant, wasn't it?
Oh, rapid, wasn't he?
Two things. One, it was an amazing run. I mean, the power, the pace, and then obviously the finish, the class finish was incredible. But you know how Forest play. You know what Forest want to do. I mean, how on earth has he been allowed to run that far without even someone bringing him down or doing... If that was in Italian football, there's no way he gets there. Someone fouls him, someone brings him down.
Agreed.
But I mean, yeah, it's just brilliant for Forest. They've got a fantastic season, as are Aston Villa, we said, but it's just been a disaster for Man United, hasn't it? For Amorim and for Man United.
Although I saw better signs. I know Forest let you have the ball. They do, possession-wise, but I think it was just that final bit in the game that I saw. I thought they defended a lot better. I thought Fernandes played well again. I just think Garnacho was a little bit wasteful in forward areas at times, but I'm seeing steady improvements with Man United. Steady. Slow, but steady.
But still losing. I think they just haven't, if you look at the whole squad, they just really haven't got the quality of the big boys at the moment.
No, miles
off. Just haven't. They've got some, obviously some talented youngsters like Garnacho, you mentioned, that are coming through. Bruno's obviously a great player, massively talented. But, beyond that, I mean, obviously Kobe Mainoo, but he's out injured and he's going to be a really good player. And they've got one or two youngsters possibly coming through the ranks. Have signed a couple, haven't they, from Arsenal that might do really well.
Heaven's a good player at the back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we'll see. But
all they need with United, they need to have a window, don't they, where he gets the players that he wants, and then we can really judge him. We thought because at Sporting there was playing such attacking football, You could bring that straight to Man United, but there's bigger problems than that. So we can judge him more once he's had a proper window, you know?
And the other thing I thought was interesting, I saw him interviewed, and we know he's quite open when he does his interviews and answers every question, but they were saying why Manchester United players are doing well elsewhere. And he was saying, well, you know, it's the pressure of playing at a club like Manchester United. I'm not buying that. I'm sorry. That if you're playing at any big football club, you need to be able to handle pressure to be there in the first place. So, and also people like Rashford, they've done it really well at certain times to prove that it's not that. I just think it's that seeping down from the top, and the club gets a bit of a mess, and it's all over the shop, really.
They've got City this weekend, haven't they? Sunday.
Yeah, Manchester derby. That
should be interesting.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I wasn't even going to mention the City Leicester game. I mean, so predictable. 2-0. Good to see Jack Grealish back playing, and I mean, it took 2 minutes to score again. Honestly, I was just saying, how long will it be before City score, and then it comes up straight away. There you go, 1 down, 2 minutes. Bosh, Jack Grealish.
And he played in the number 10 as well, which was really good.
I think it suits him there.
It really does suit him. It does. Gets on the ball, could slow it down.
Got a bit emotional, didn't he, after the game with his interview when he was speaking after the game. And but for him and his confidence and everything else, that might have been a really huge goal for him going forward last night.
It was the anniversary of the death of his brother, wasn't it? 25th anniversary, and he said it's all meaningful for the family.
Absolutely.
So, bless
him. Pleased for him getting a goal.
Yeah, me too. I think everyone loves Jack Grealish, doesn't he? He's got
everyone does,
almost a Gaza feel to him in a way. He's hugely talented and a lovely guy, and he does beautiful things. He's a great kid. Wish him well. Arsenal got their win, as we expected they probably would. And I think the story there, the good news story, of course, was the return of Bukayo Saka, who came in and then 7 minutes later got his goal, little header.
Saka.
You know, it's like, you know, when you've been out for such a long time, there's always there's no doubt you'll get back to what you were, but it's always, how long is it going to take? How is it going to take me 2 weeks, take me a month or whatever, you know? But for him to get back in the groove and score within sort of 6 or 7 minutes, for his belief and confidence, and for Arsenal, I mean, great for them that they've got their star player back, and great that he's in amongst the goals straight away.
But there was a blow though, wasn't there?
On the downside, I'd go on Micah. Gabriel.
I said Arsenal have got a chance against Real Madrid in the Champions League. With Gabriel, I think them chances dwindle massively.
Totally agree.
Big blow.
He's so important to them. Yeah. So important. And Timber as well. Doesn't he look like he's done his knee?
Yeah.
I've got a little list of Arsenal's defensive injury woes here. Gabriel, hamstring injury against Fulham, unlikely to feature in either leg of the Champions League quarter-final. Timber, also hobbled off against Fulham, apparent knee injury. Ben White returned to first team action of 3 months delay in February, but he missed the Fulham game after suffering a setback. Calafiori, the Italian international, out for a matter of weeks, according to Arteta. And Tomiyasu as well has only played once this season, underwent surgery recently. I mean, that's tough when you're about to face 2 games against Real Madrid, isn't it?
Tough. Yeah, really tough.
Yeah.
But it's not impossible.
No, nothing's impossible. If you can be organised and hit them on the counter and somehow manage to score a few goals, because you need that against Real Madrid, but we shall see. Let's just talk about down the bottom, I suppose, before we go. I mean, good win for Ipswich. That their first of the year, first Premier League win this year, which was good for them. I mean, it'll be too little, too late. And with Wolves winning as well, I mean, it's done. They've done the bottom.
Yeah, it's done.
We're going. We're going down. We're going to win a few games next season, possibly.
Although Ipswich do play Wolves, I think, this weekend. If Ipswich were to win, what would that? Are they 9 points behind them at the minute? And so if they were to win, that might go to 6 and put a bit of pressure on them. But I agree with you guys. I think it's all done. I mean, Southampton actually nearly got a victory as well, but Palace equalised really, really late. How did your fantasy go the last couple of nights, Micah, before we go? Everyone likes to know how you do.
I had Salah captain and
dear.
goal.
Yeah, I suppose everyone did that.
Disaster.
Oh.
Why are you asking me that?
Well, I didn't know.
I've had a disaster because Harry's had a disaster as well. I think.
Yeah, he's honestly so bloody miserable.
I was going to say, we know you've had a disaster because you've never mentioned it once in the last 40 odd minutes.
He said to me earlier, he said, I am going to be in a terrible mood until the weekend. I thought, oh, well, great. I mean, why do something that affects you that badly? I just don't get it. But anyway, it's all good fun. That's it for this episode. We'll be back with a customary episode on Monday morning where we'll be discussing all the Premier League games, including that Manchester derby that we've just mentioned. But for now, goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.